The miracle of life. That's the thing that never hurts so. Something your role. Take a place, no. Why? Because the devil is a lie, eh? Telling you the truth, eh? It's all in what you do, eh? Some things you gotta do, Hey, barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. We going live on this topic tomorrow, dog. We going live on this topic, 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time this Sunday, amongst other topics. We'll talk about the boycott, Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. I've seen him. I didn't speak to him, but I saw him at a couple fights, walked by him a couple of times. He always sitting first, second row, whatever it may be. And shout out to Clifford Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson, man. If you like Dirk Nowitzki, Clifford Robinson was Dirk Nowitzki before Dirk Nowitzki, a more athletic version out of UConn. You know, I mean, rest in peace to those to those giants that passed away over the last 24 hours. But let's jump. I have the clip, okay, and I'm gonna play this clip, and we're gonna go from there, okay.
No reason to believe that it won't take place. It's just a matter of when. It is odd, Chris. I mean, we both know Deontay Wilder very well, and to me, it's stunning. Like, I mean, it used to be no big deal to be able to reach out to his camp and get him on the phone for whatever subject was going on in the sport, and now he's unavailable. Now he's almost in hiding and being very reclusive, and that's not who Deontay Wilder is. So that's a little bit concerning. How has this loss affected him? And it's almost like, I'm not saying it's anywhere near the level of depression that Tyson Fury went through after he defeated Klitschko. But you could maybe guess that there is some kind of depression going on with Deontay Wilder, this huge blow to his ego, and having to be now so humble in defeat about what has happened, because he was truly beaten down in this fight. And not a lot of people are accepting those excuses that he came up with afterwards. So how it plays out is going to be very interesting. He's going to have to talk definitely within the next 2 months, because he's going to have a fight to be selling.
All right, let's jump in. First, I'm going to say, all my Twitter, everyone on Twitter, please go to Lance Pugmire handle, Twitter handle. It is Pug Boxing, PUGBOXING, and let them know how you really feel. Okay. 2, Tim Smith, you're in charge of media for PBC, and you represent all of PBC fighters. You got to step in front of these stories, man. I don't know how and when these stories get out without a rebuttal. You know what I mean? About people destroying your brand, whether it's a fighter, whether it's a manager, whether it's just trainer. PBC needs a in-house promoter that talks. TGB needs to add someone that can talk and talk that good shit, because stuff like this should not be getting out. It needs to be rebutted immediately. Part 3. Lance Pugmire is the man. We finally got to the man. I appreciate the subscribers that sent this to me. Thank you in the DM. That's why I said we're all producers of this show. I'm only one man, and I need all y'all to help me out, okay? He's the man that put out the story about Deontay Wilder and the suit being heavy and this and that and whatever you want to say. I'm going to say this. Lance Pugmire sounds like a very privileged person that's offended he didn't get an interview from Deontay Wilder. I feel privileged. I'm this, I'm that. And I'm going to be clear. For those of you who don't know, I'm only one man, right? And I get a lot of information, like all those PBC news breaks that the other guy's name, Mike Coppinger. 9 times out of 10, I get the news long before they do it. But I'd be so involved in my day that I don't even pass on, that I don't give y'all the information, because I'll be like, man, I'm only one man doing a one-man business, And the reason why I'm saying that is because when you have access to fighters and they're not talking and they've given you access to them, whether it's a friendship, whether it's just business, allow them to speak for themselves. Don't jump in front of the gun and speak for them. You know, I've been in many private rooms, maybe a handful of times with either Mike Coppinger and or Lance Pugmire, and I've listened to them give them the information, you know, that they need, and I get it long before them, and I just don't put it out. And I remember, I'm gonna give you one example. I remember when Deontay Wilder worked out at the Watson's gym. It was a great gym. I was telling everybody, man, y'all need to go see the heavyweight champion of the world, man. The heavyweight. And then I didn't really have a true relationship with Deontay Wilder then, but I just respected him as a black man, you know. And I took 2 gloves, and he signed one for Lincoln, and he signed one for Kennedy. Here's the catch to that. The only 2 media people in that room was myself and Lance Pugmire. I'm telling you the God honest truth. And he did an interview that back then. Lance Pugmire was with the LA Times, and he gave him an interview. I didn't desire to do an interview with Wilder. You know, maybe I don't use I don't flex as much as I should flex. You understand what I'm saying? And but the fact that he was in that room and he had access to Deontay Wilder and he speaks before Deontay Wilder speaks is a great injustice. If he doesn't want to speak to you, he don't want to speak to you right now. What's so hard about that? And people are going to say, oh, you're a Deontay Wilder flunky. I am. Okay, get over it. All right, it ain't changing. Okay, he's he's an in-house fighter. What is that, the blue corner? I don't care. I personally don't care. Everyone pretends to be unbiased. You know what I mean? The truth sounds foreign to most people, and I think we need to go tell Lance Pugmire entitled ass how we feel about him. Go to his Twitter and let him know how you really feel about him, because he's the guy spreading these rumors and or lies. And I spoke to Deontay Wilder after the fight. Shout out to Miss Leslie. She gonna be in the building this Monday. She has a business, and she told me, she said, "Man, how's Deontay Wilder doing?" And it was like 10 guys that had reached out to me, and then there was 11. It was a woman. I was like, okay, I need to call D. And me and D spoke for about 20, 30 minutes on the phone, and he said he was fine. And I spoke to him through text another time after that, and he's fine. Like, no big deal. Just like you, I'm waiting. He's gonna come in the barbershop when he feels ready. I don't pressure these fighters. I don't base my relationship on people based upon my time. Like, hey, you got to come in Monday at 9 o'clock or you're not my friend. Or you got to come in Tuesday at 9 o'clock or I'm not supporting you. When they ready, they ready. They got lives to live too, man. You know what I mean? Let them. Lance Pugmire is an entitled, inferior reporter. You know what I mean? I've lost a lot of respect for him as it pertains to this article. I remember having one conversation with him as we were waiting in the line, and I asked him to talk about the Oscar De La Hoya Al Heyman emails. He heard me. He just chose not to write about it, you know, and he has every right to. It is his platform. He has every right to do what he wants to do in his platform. But here's the such irony in all of this. And I'm gonna talk to fighters, and who's next up? Tank Davis is next. No, excuse me, the Charlos, Tank Davis, and Earl Spence. I'm gonna work forward. If the Charlos lose, you already know what they're gonna say about you. It's your fault you lost. It's this, it's that. If Tank weight, he was fat, he didn't take it serious, he has no discipline. If Earl Spence loses, the car wreck. What else? He has bad habits, no discipline. And this is why I say, when the reason why white media or mainstream media is bigger than us is because y'all take y'all stories to them first. Simply put, you know what I mean? Imagine if well, LeBron James owns his own media now, but imagine if he just gave everyone PC answers and did his long interviews with Black Sports Online. Robert does a great job over there. Imagine if he did it with Jay, Bad Culture. You know, she does entertainment and she also does sports, you know, or imagine if he did it with me or Blue Blood, or you understand what I'm saying? That's important. That's really, really important that you find your niche. You know, it doesn't have to be me, but the fact that you're giving to your culture and building a brand is so important. And I have no respect for Lance Pugmire. I've never had no respect for Mike Coppinger. You know, it's whew, we got to take our power back. We have to take it. They have no power without us. You know what I mean? Imagine Lance Pugmire just doing articles on non-Black fighters. He wouldn't care. And truth be told, I think they're running mates. I see them together quite often. But when Mike Coppinger was working for Fox and Lance Pugmire was working for ESPN, they had a chip on their shoulder, like they were the machismo. You know what I mean? Like they were like the ones. But I want to find out who owns the Athletic. Who owns? Let me find out, because I don't know if it's privately owned. They owned it. In San Francisco, created by Alex Mather and Adam Hansman. They don't even own who they work for. They're not even taking risks. They're not even taking chances, dog. They just employees. Man, we out here risking everything for y'all, man. They are employees. They have no power. They don't even have power at their job. They are employees. I should have did this shit in my barbershop on my HD camera, man. They are employees. They are career employees. Mike Coppinger got fired from every job he's ever had. Now he's at the Athletic. Lance Pugmire got fired, released from the LA Times. He's going to say it was budget. It's okay. And now he's working for another man. At least go to motherfuckers that's betting on themselves, fighters. You know what I mean? Like, man, these guys are cowards. And stop feeling like you got to justify yourself to these guys. You don't have to justify to these guys. Let them guys run, because when there's a drought, they gonna go away from dehydration. All right. Give them a drought. People don't understand. All you got to do is one interview and it gets seen by everybody. Hence my interview with Gary Russell. We going on a month on that interview. And that's still the hottest story in boxing. Gary Russell, Terrence Crawford. Tell me a story greater than that in boxing. 4 weeks now. 3 or 4 weeks we're in on that story. So the barbershop is open to all you guys. I don't really feel like going in like I usually do when shit like this happens. You guys know how I feel about Lance Pugmire, Michael Coppinger. They ain't nothing but scavengers. They ain't nothing but leeches, opportunists, as Andre Ward would say. But he's the guy that's been leaking this information. And I'm gonna say, Tim Smith, man, you better start protecting the brand. These black fighters, start protecting them. You're in charge of media. When you see stuff like this come out, you got to rebuttal it. But anyways, he's best friends with Karen Swan. I mean, what sense does that make? You know what I mean? But anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. Oh, man. You know what I mean? The pain these last 6 months it is being a black man in America, man. Man. We're going to get through this, y'all. We're going to get through this. Barbershop conversations, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.